There. Welcome to this React training session. In this training session, I would like to tell you about the use effect hook and that is how to run the effect on how to run the effect on every render and how to run the effect when the particular state or props has changed. So guys, let's begin. So to demonstrate that, mm, I have created one simple counter application and I will show you with the help of this counter application. So this is the basic counter application. So once you run this, you could see this counter application is running. So to demonstrate how to run the effect on the every render, I'm creating this. Let's create the counter application. So to use the counter application, I might require the use state hook. So I need to first take the counter. So let's use the counter, and second one is a set counter, and I'm expecting this from the use state, and here I'm initializing this state with the 0, and one more state I'm taking here is a input, and here getter function for this would be set input, and here I am initializing it with the blank space. So in our return, or we can say JSX, let's quickly add up the code for storing the counter, incrementing the counter. Let's get rid of this thing for now, and here I'm taking one h2 element, and here I'm printing the value of the counter, and here the counter. Below that, I will take two buttons, and one for on click, one for incrementing the counter, and the second one is for decrementing the counter. I will add the event handler for this increment, handle increment, and the same one more button I will take it for the decrementing the decrementing the counter values, decrementing the counter value, and below that I will take one input element. For now, one more input element I will take, and here type will be text, name not required, value required, and value would be input, and I will write a one event handler for this, that is handle change, and this will on change, it will go to handle change. Now you can see, let's implement the event handler for respective events. So for the increment and decrement, I will implement the two event handler for the cons increment, and one more I will create for the decrement, and one more for handle change. Now this would be for decrement. So add the respective event handler code. Here I want to update the state event dot target dot value I will write here, and on click I will set the update the value of the counter. It will, here I am passing the one arrow function, and will take first previous value and will increment it by one. This is the decrement handler, so I will decrement it, and same code I will write for the increment, and here I will do a one change, that is plus. Here I am incrementing. Now our counter application is ready. Let's see in the browser. Now you can see the counter application. Let's add quickly a one more BR so that it will show properly. And below this text box, let's print the user input. Means whatever the user is typing in that text box, I will print out here. So the user typed, or let's say user input only for now. user input, and let's input. Now you can see, here. Let me quickly add one more here to show this on the next line. Okay, cool. So now if I click on the increment button, now you can see increment, it is incrementing the counter value. If I click on the decrement button, it is decrementing the counter value. Perfect. No problem in that. So if I start entering anything inside the input box, it will print the value whatever user has entered in below the text box. So nothing much in this. So let's add the. Our goal is to show how to run the effect on the every you can say render, or whenever the state changes, it should run our use effect. So for that, first step is to import the use effect from the React library. So I will do use effect. I will add the comma. Now I will define that hook. So next step is to define our hook. So I will pass one arrow function, that is callback function. And here in this callback function, what I will do, I will let's say we want to update our document title every time when the user update the state of our application. So let's do that quickly using the document dot title, and here let's add the message. So here the message is counter value is, and let's quickly do that counter. Okay, no problem. Now you can see, initially our counter value is 0. Our effect has run for the first time when user reload our application, or user enter for the first time to our application. So once I start incrementing the counter, now you can see, please observe in the title bar. So if I click on the increment button, the value of the counter is incrementing, and it is also updated the document title. Now you can see, if I keep incrementing the counter value, it will keep updating our document title. Now if I keep decrementing, if I click on the decrement button, it is also updating our document title. But now, yeah, you can see, if I start typing in the input box, still it will update our document title. So to demonstrate that, I will quickly add here one console log, and now you can see, here I will write a message that is inside use effect, so that we'll will get to know that is it incrementing. So now you can see, if I increment the count, it will show in the document title that counter value or updated counter value. If I click on the decrement, it is still going. It is still updating our counter value in a document title. Now you can see. Please observe properly. So if I start writing inside the text box, still it is updating the document title, even if it is updating to the same value, but it is updating, means our use effect is running even after I type inside the text box, or either I click on the increment or decrement button. So this means that our use effect is running on the every state change. So this was the example which was showing how to run the effect on the every render, or we can say every state change. So now again, we can, as I said, this is working like a component, or a component did update, or we can say, we have mimic the component did update method inside our functional component, like class component. Okay. Now what our goal is to, second use case is, we have to run this effect when our state or prop has changed. Let's say this is our state or props, any one of them has changed, then we have to run this effect. So we can give that. uh, so for that, what we can do, we can add a second optional parameter to the use effect, that is dependency array. And in that dependency array, what we can do, we can pass the dependency. Let's say we want to run this effect only when our counter value has changed. So I will add the dependency of counter here. Counter is my state variable inside my functional component. So I have added a dependency here inside the use effect in a second parameter as a counter. So whenever my counter value change, it will update the document title. Otherwise, if I start typing inside the input box, it will not update the value of my document title. Now you can see if I run this for the first time, it will show the message. But if I start typing inside the text box, it will not update the document title. Now you can see we are not getting a message on the console. Uh, even after I'm typing, even after I'm typing inside the text box. But if I start clicking on the increment or decrement button, it will run our effect. So if I start incrementing my counter value by clicking on the increment button, so now you can see our effect is running. If I click on the decrement button, still our effect is running. This is what, this is why, because we have passed a dependency as a counter inside the use effect in a dependency array, so that it is running every time when my dependency has changes or changes. So this was all about the use effect hook. That is how to run the effect on every render, or how to run the effect when particular dependency like a state or pop has changed. So as I said earlier, that use effect is used for the three purpose. That is, first one is for first one, it will work like a component did mount. Second, it has we can use the use effect for mimicking the component did update, and third one is for component will unmount. So we'll see that all in the next session. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.